कशिर एहसास कश्मीर।
मन की बात है जन जन की, संघर्षों के कुछ किस्से, कहानी कुछ सफलताओं की, अनकही विरासत की, उम्मीदें नए भारत की। महीने के आखिरी रविवार का रहता है इंतजार। ब्रह्मपुत्र के घाट से हिमालय के विस्तार तक होती है मन की बात प्रधानमंत्री के साथ। तो सुनिए इस महीने 29 अक्टूबर सुबह 11 बजे मन की बात आकाशवाणी और दूरदर्शन के सभी चैनलों पर। आप भी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री की मन की बात का हिस्सा बन सकते हैं। इसके लिए आप अपने सुझाव पोस्ट बॉक्स नंबर 111 आकाशवाणी दिल्ली को भेज सकते हैं। इसके अलावा नमो ऐप या माई गोव के ओपन फोरम में पोस्ट कर सकते हैं। तो याद रखें 29 अक्टूबर सुबह 11 बजे मन की बात।
Hello and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Lipakshi Khurana. Let's take a look at what made news this week. Women and children in POK too joined the protest against the local administration. POK activists urge international community to expel Pakistan from their regions. Srinagar gets its first public skate park facility to promote skateboarding and roller skating. Jammu and Kashmir organizes GI Mahotsav to promote talented artisans of the nation. And in our special section of Incredible India, we take you to the country's culturally rich state of Gujarat, where people rejoiced festivity of Navratri with their traditional dance form, Garba. The months-long protest against Islamabad's illegal regime owing to spiraling inflation, exorbitant electricity bills and scarcity of wheat flour in POK has taken a new turn. Thousands of women, along with their children and other family members too, have now joined the movement against the administration in Muzaffarabad and other parts of POK. Amid lathi charge and arrest made by the police, the emerging women force against the inhuman administration is not relenting an inch. They have resolved to continue protesting until their demands are fulfilled. We have a report.
The illegally occupied territory of POK is swept up in large-scale protests against the local administration in the region. The demonstrations against the local regime, owing to skyrocketing inflation and exorbitant electricity bills, have now been joined by the women and children also. A large number of people, including men, women, senior citizens and children, demonstrated in front of the Central Press Club, demanding affordable wheat flour and relief from exorbitant electricity bills. Many women protesters complained that the police force lathi-charged the peaceful protesters and arrested many for raising voices against the Pakistan-backed local administration.
ये कहाँ का इंसाफ है कि कोई शख्स अपना हक मांगता हो तो आप उसके खिलाफ FIR दर्ज करें, उसके घरों के ऊपर छापे मारें, उनके बच्चों को पैरों के नीचे रौंद कर जाएं। ये कहाँ की सियासत है? ये कहाँ का इंसाफ है? ये कहाँ की हुक्मरानी है? जितने भी हुक्मरान हैं वो कान खोल कर सुन लें। हमारी पुरअमन जदोजहद अपने जायज हकूक के लिए है, अपने वसाइल पर अपने हक को तस्लीम करने के लिए है। हमारी जदोजहद किसी मकसद के लिए नहीं है। हम ये चाह रहे हैं कि हमारे जो जायज मुतालबात हैं, हमें आटा फराहम किया जाए, सस्ती बिजली फराहम की जाए, हमारे वसाइल से बनने वाली बिजली हमें फराहम की जाए। क्या ये बातें करना, क्या अपने हकूक के लिए आवाज बुलंद करना गुनाह है?
The local government's crackdown in response to the non-violent protests in the territory has further resented the public. They blame the authorities for conducting illegal raids at their residences and making arrests on trumped-up charges against the locals, demanding their basic rights.
बच्चों को जितना टॉर्चर किया जा रहा है कि रात को 12 बजे बड़ों को उठा के ले जाएंगे, छोटे-छोटे बच्चे हैं घरों में, किसी टाइम भी आपको कह सकते हैं कौन सोएगा, कौन सोचेगा इस फ्यूचर के बारे में, कौन सोचेगा हमारी आजादी के बारे में, कौन सोचेगा छोटी-छोटी चीजों के बारे में। अगर सारा कोई अपने घरों से निकल रहा है तो उसको मजबूर ना करे, उसको टॉर्चर ना करे, उसको ज़हनी अज़ियत ना दे और उसको अपने हक के बारे में बोलने दे।
The protests have further intensified in Muzaffarabad ever since women and children have taken to the streets against the authorities. Residents say such large-scale protests are happening for the first time in Muzaffarabad, where women too have come out of their homes to join the movement against the illegal regime in POK.
मुजफ्फराबाद की खवातीन घरों से निकली है। मेरा ख्याल है तारीख में पहली बार ऐसे हुआ है कि खवातीन की इतनी बड़ी तादाद अपने हक के लिए आवाज उठाने के लिए समेत अपने बच्चों की निकली है। ये इस बात का एहतजाज है कि खवातीन के घरों में जाके चादर पर्दादारी को और घर की चारदीवारी को पामाल किया जाता है और जाके इस टाइम का दिल करता है जाके खवातीन को हरासा करके तो गिरफ्तारियां अमल में लाई जाती हैं। ऐसा कौन सा जुर्म हुआ? सिर्फ अपने लिए हक की आवाज उठाना जुर्म हो गया, अपने लिए सस्ती बिजली मांगना जुर्म हो गया, अपने बच्चों का पेट भरने के लिए आटा मांगना जुर्म हो गया।
The public outburst against galloping inflation, unreasonable electricity bills, violation of human rights and myriad other issues has turned into a freedom movement against the government. The women joining the protests is an indication that the movement started against the illegal regime in POK will simmer further, and residents are in no mood to relent on their demands.
Well, the clamours of angry residents in the illegally occupied territories of POK and Gilgit-Baltistan have reached the international community. In the recently held United Nations Human Rights Council meet in Geneva, the activists from the illegally occupied territories lambasted Pakistan's illegal regime and urged the international community to expel Pakistan from their region. They also highlighted the gross human rights violations and the dire state of affairs in their territories. We have a report.
The strong disgruntled voices of the illegally occupied territories against Pakistan reached the pedestal of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. During the recently concluded UNHRC session held in Switzerland, activists from POK vehemently opposed Pakistan's illegal regime and urged the international community to expel Pakistan from their region. Sajjad Raza, an activist from POK, highlighted the plight of residents and apprised the international community of the dire state of the illegally occupied territories. He also blamed Pakistan for non-compliance with the United Nations directives.
The UN has asked Pakistan many times to withdraw from the state, yet Pakistan has blatantly ignored these repeated requests and continues to occupy us without allowing us any basic necessities of life, freedoms or rights. Mr. President, currently the people of POJK and Gilgit-Baltistan are protesting by shutting down cities. Continuous sit-in protests have been taking place for over 180 days. People are demanding that Pakistan provide them with wheat flour to live on, but Pakistan pays no attention to our demands. Mr. President, POJK produces electricity at the cost of 2.03 rupees per unit, but this electricity is sold back to us for 50 to 80 rupees per unit. Our need is only 400 megawatt in POJK, and despite producing over 2,000 megawatt electricity, we are subjected to load shedding for over 16 hours a day. We also lack any economic and physical infrastructure and employment opportunities. Under these conditions, our people are unable to survive and are fleeing out of POJK. We request the international community to expel Pakistan from our state as required by the UN resolutions so that we can live peacefully on our own land.
The regions of POK and Gilgit-Baltistan are swept in protests against the Pakistan-backed regime. The spiraling inflation and exorbitant electricity bills have ruined the lives of residents. Sajjad Hussain, another POK activist representing the illegally occupied region at the UNHRC, dubbed the ongoing protests as a civil disobedience movement.
People are victim of extremists, violence, terrorism and extremism. Currently, there is an ongoing movement in Pakistani occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and we can call it non-cooperation movement, or you can call it civil disobedience movement. And why the people are protesting on streets and sitting in different cities in the name of Awami Action Committee? Because they are protesting for the shortage of electricity and the extra surcharges on the electricity bills, and the thousands, even the millions of the electricity bills put on fire and put into ashes in different cities. So currently there is a non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement against Pakistan, and it's look like a revolution.
It has been over 3 months since widespread anti-Pakistan protests broke out in the illegally occupied territories. The residents are saturated with the inhuman policies and repetitive violations of human rights at the hands of Pakistani authorities. To subdue the protests in the territories, the authorities have deployed police forces who lathi-charged peaceful protesters and arrested many for raising voices against the illegal regime. But the residents too are not yielding. They seem to have resolved to continue their protest against the illegal administration. If their demands comprising relief from inflation, heavy electricity bills and many other problems are not met.
Moving on, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is taking great strides in the sports infrastructure development to nurture the sporting talents in Kashmir and foster a positive mindset among the youth. The Indian Army, in collaboration with the private school, inaugurated the first public skate park for the youths. After witnessing the enthusiasm in school children and the youth towards skateboarding and roller skating, the school took the initiative and the Indian Army came in full support to develop the sports complex. The initiative is garnering praise all across the Union Territory. Take a look.
Sports is a time-tested activity to build leadership, motor skills, physical fitness and mental endurance among the young individuals. With a mission to provide opportunity to every individual in Srinagar to participate in some form of sports, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is taking great strides in the sports infrastructure development. Recently, the Indian Army, in collaboration with the private school organization, inaugurated a public skate park in Srinagar. The facility will serve school students, youth and other sports enthusiasts interested in roller skating and skateboarding.
we discovered that there is a community of about 3,000 skateboarders existing in Kashmir, and there is no particular space dedicated to them. They're operating in local parks with normal flat flooring where they are, gathering in the evening spaces, and so discovered that, it might be a very good idea that if we can find a space where we can give this community an active ground to participate, and that is how the whole project came up. When we came here, we didn't have much of an idea that, an existing activity on the end of other sports, sand art, etc. is existing here. So it was quite a discovery for us as well. And post that, I think it just went with the flow. I'd really like to mention that all the participants, all the workers, all are local. It was first project for them as well. There was a lot of care, a lot of support was extended from Sir financially in terms of learning and else as well. And I just hope that the community finds it's a usable space and they actively participate in this. We'd be really happy to see that.
The sport of skateboarding, although popular in small pockets of the country, has great potential to become a competitive sport in the country in coming times. This could be witnessed in many enthusiastic school children who already had the skill of comfortably balancing on skateboards. The facility would further help in honing their skill and also serve as a recreational space for the general public interested in skating.
We really want people to actively come here, participate. Sports is skateboarding is something you see from children to adults who actively also participate in this. We want them to come here, and I think it will be a great event, a great community space for them to gather. Lots of other things are also intended to come up. If we find a very positive feedback on this end, we'd love to have more active recreational spaces with them.
The initiative is garnering much praise among the school students in Srinagar since they needed a dedicated facility for the sport. The Indian Army and the private school organization did not take much time to act on the requirement of the school children and open the first skate park in Srinagar.
I want to see that ये बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव लिया गया है. पहले ये बहुत फैसिलिटीज़ आ रही है कश्मीरियों को. पहले इन 90s और 20s 2010 से पहले कश्मीरियों को उतना एक्सपोजर नहीं था. They didn't have उतनी फैसिलिटीज़ जो हम ये सारा करते हैं. So now अब स्टेप्स ले रहे सारा.
इसमें स्केटिंग होगी, बिलियर्ड होगा, जो हमारी कंट्रीब्यूशन होगी, 2-3 चीज़ें. आर्चरी होगी, बाकी आर्मी ने फिर चलाना वो चलाएंगे. मगर बच्चों का बहुत एंथुसियाज्म है, पर्टिकुलरली फॉर स्केटबोर्ड. तो हमारे स्कूल के भी काफ़ी बच्चे हैं जो स्कूल में भी स्केटबोर्ड करते हैं. हो सकता है इंशाल्लाह आगे चल के स्केटबोर्ड कंपटीशन भी हो जाए. आर्चरी दूसरी चीज़ है जो कि इंटरनेशनल है, जो हम प्रमोट करना चाहते हैं यहाँ.
For the youth of Srinagar, the skate park is a stepping stone to further make their mark in the sport at many national and international arenas. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir has given several sporting talents to the country. It would not be surprising if more youth from Kashmir shines in this sporting activity too. To ensure that the youth of Kashmir gets a continuous support in honing their talent, the Government of India is religiously developing sports infrastructure in every district of the Union Territory. The new sporting avenues for the youth of Jammu and Kashmir are helping them channel their energy into productive and constructive pursuits.
Moving on, in a bid to promote the diverse arts and crafts of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and other states of the country, a 7-day-long geographical indication Mahotsav was organized in Srinagar. GI Mahotsav was a melange of diverse cultures and arts representing the quintessential essence of each participating state. For art connoisseurs and food lovers, it was a perfect treat to rejoice and indulge in the renowned diversity of the nation. Take a look.
The arts and handicrafts of India are unique products that represent quintessential cultures of different states in the country. To promote these skilled artists and their handmade products, the Jammu and Kashmir administration, in collaboration with various arts and crafts organizations, held a 7-day-long geographical indication, GI Mahotsav, in Srinagar. The GI Mahotsav aims to provide the artisans a platform to exhibit and sell their authentic products to the customers.
GI महोत्सव जो है ये हम एक हफ्ते का प्रोग्राम है जिसमें 80 GI प्रोडक्ट्स अक्रॉस द कंट्री और 20 GI प्रोडक्ट्स हमारे जम्मू कश्मीर से हैं। इसमें जो है काफ़ी डाइवर्सिटी आपको मिलेगी। हर स्टेट से यहाँ पे पार्टिसिपेशन है, हत्ता कि केरला से, तमिलनाडु से, आंध्रा से जो है यहाँ पे दस्तकार प्रोडक्ट्स लेके आए हैं, तो काफ़ी डाइवर्सिटी आपको यहाँ पे मिलेगी। और साथ ही साथ हमने फूड का भी यहाँ पे फूड कियोस्क भी लगाए हैं, तो और कल्चरल इवनिंग्स भी होंगे। तो काफ़ी कोशिश की हमने कि एक इंटरैक्टिव यहाँ पे एक एटमॉस्फेयर बने और आम लोग यहाँ पे आके देखें कि जो प्रोडक्ट्स ऑन डिस्प्ले है वो खरीद भी सकते हैं। जो डाइवर्सिटी है कंट्री की, जो आर्ट एंड क्राफ्ट के सेक्टर में है, तो उसको एक्सपीरियंस कर पाएंगे।
The GI tagging on the products is a certification given by the Government of India that authenticates the origin of the art and craft. This not only helps in promoting the art but also provides the right return to the artist community who spend days and months to create these masterpieces.
हम चाहते हैं कि GI लोग खरीदें, GI प्रोडक्ट्स खरीदें, चूँकि मार्केट में आपको मशीन मेड मिलता है और चूँकि जो हैंडमेड मशीन मेड के नाम पे बिकता है उससे हमारे आर्टिसंस को काफ़ी नुकसान पहुंचता है। तो हम चाहते हैं GI एट इटसेल्फ प्रमोट हो और कस्टमर एम्फसाइज करे कि GI सर्टिफाइड प्रोडक्ट्स ही खरीदे, तो उससे एक तो जेन्युइन क्राफ्ट आपको मिलेगा और दूसरा आप सही आर्टिसन को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। तो इस GI महोत्सव का मकसद यही है कि हम सही क्राफ्ट और सही आर्टिसन को प्रमोट करें।
हम अपने जो माल बनाते थे, हमारे यहाँ बैठे अड़तिए, वो उनके हम तौल देते थे और वो मनमाना अपना रेट बेचते थे और हमें मुनाफा कम देते थे।
During the Mahotsav, visitors had a wide range of authentic Kashmiri handicrafts, including pashmina shawls, carpets, wooden artifacts, paper mache products, saffron and traditional Kashmiri cuisine on display. The Basholi town in Kathua district is famous for its paintings, pashmina and bamboo handicrafts. The handicrafts from Basholi were not getting enough market earlier, but after the handicraft got GI tag, the market and sale of these unique products have increased many-fold.
जैसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट कठवा में अगर जर्नली में बताऊं कि 3 ऐसे क्राफ्ट्स हैं जिनका काफ़ी अच्छा जो है वो एक्सपोर्ट पोटेंशियल है। जैसे हमारे बसोली टाउन के जो है वो बसोली पेंटिंग और बसोली पश्मीना, और हमारा जो है वो बैम्बो क्राफ्ट है, उसका भी काफ़ी अच्छा एक्सपोर्ट पोटेंशियल है। हमारी बसोली पेंटिंग की मार्केटिंग नहीं होती थी क्योंकि इसका कोई ब्रांड नहीं था, तो GI टैग से ब्रांडिंग हुई और अब इसकी मार्केटिंग जो है वो ज़्यादा जो है हो रही है।
The GI Mahotsav provided a unique shopping experience for the visitors, art connoisseurs and food lovers to directly interact with the artisans and learn about the cultural significance behind each product. The Government of India is promoting many such events all across the country to contribute and promote the dexterous artist community of the nation.
And now, let's walk you through the culturally rich state of India, Gujarat. As India celebrates its 9-day-long festival Navratri, the people in Gujarat welcome the 9 avatars of Hindu deity Durga with their spectacular performances of state's traditional dance Garba. Let's take a look.
Gujarat is often known for its festivals, rich culture, not to mention its folklore and folk dances, which are world famous. In spirit, as the Navratri festival approaches, the state is busy preparing for its most popular folk dance, Garba. Garba festival in Gujarat is a 9-night celebration of the feminine divinity Shakti or Durga, worshipping the 9th form of goddess. The Garba dance is typically performed in a large circle, with people dancing around a centrally lit lamp, picture or idol of the goddess Durga. The devotees mainly dance to Gujarati songs by rhythmically clapping and making graceful movements during the Garba. Amid the festivity, enthusiastic dance groups are striving to create something unique as a part of the pre-Navratri celebrations.
इंडिया का जो मेन मिशन है वो है वर्ल्ड कप जो इंडिया में अभी खेला जा रहा है, जो बच्चों से लेकर बूढ़े तक इतना क्रेज है अपन को क्रिकेट में, वो आप सब देख ही रहे हो, आप सबको पता ही है। और उसके साथ साथ नवरात्रि आ रही है, मतलब उसका जोश, क्रिकेट का जोश जो मिक्सअप हुआ है, अभी जो माहौल जो बना हुआ है, उसके हिसाब से देव गरबा क्लासेस ने एक न्यू स्टेप इंट्रोड्यूस किया है, वो है क्रिकेट स्टेप।
Cities like Rajkot, Ahmedabad and Surat in Gujarat are the soul of the Garba festival, which surprises the state with its creativity every year by attracting throngs of tourists. Speaking of creativity, in a peculiar instance, a man in Ahmedabad created a unique attire for the 9-day festivity, as he embedded Chandrayaan 3, the moon, Ram Mandir and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the turban, naming it a Ram Rajya Pagdi.
मैं हर बार की तरह इस बार भी एक बहुत ही सुंदर मजा की पगड़ी लेकर आया हूं, और ये जो मेरी पगड़ी है उसका नाम है राम राज्य पगड़ी। जो राम राज्य नाम पगड़ी मैंने इसीलिए रखा है क्योंकि उसमें मैंने राम मंदिर रखा हुआ है अपनी पगड़ी में, और अपने जो नरेंद्र भाई मोदी है उनको भी रखा हुआ है। इसका जो वजन है 3 से 3.5 किलो होता है, और मैं 9 दिन यही पगड़ी और यही कॉस्ट्यूम पहन के खेलता हूँ।
On the occasion of the pre-Navratri celebration, dance performers donned vibrant, colourful traditional attire and participated in the dance events. During the event, some socially conscious groups were also there, holding placards in hands and saying no to drugs and tobacco, therefore creating awareness through the festival.
आजकल की युवा पीढ़ी बहुत ड्रग्स में और वो सब में स्मोकिंग में खो गई है, तो मेरी तरफ से ये छोटा सा संदेश है कि वो ड्रग्स और वो ना करे। सरकार भी ट्राई करे और हम भी थोड़ा बहुत ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि लोग ड्रग्स से दूर रहे, और उससे बहुत हेल्थ के लिए बहुत हानिकारक है ड्रग्स।
Festival like these resonates in the hearts of common people with joy and happiness while bringing stability to their lives. Meanwhile, it also serves as a platform for many who seek an opportunity to express their talents and creativity to the world.
Well, that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Goodbye and take care.